Hello folks, meteorologist Jamie Kagol here with your forecast. We'll start things out taking a look downtown Minneapolis. Not much cloud cover out there. You'll see a little bit of upper level cloud cover coming in from the northwest. Rain chances today stay very low for the Twin Cities. I think for west central Minnesota, that's going to be the favorite spot. But there's more summer heat for today. There's actually a stretch of summer heat in the forecast. Spotty afternoon rain. We're going to see that popping up as we get into about the middle of the afternoon. And again, really focused towards western Minnesota. It does stay hot in the forecast, but the humidity is going to be dropping. So again, if you thought recently, hey, I like summer temperatures, but let's not crank up the humidity just yet. Let's not make it feel like July. Well, we got some more tolerable humidity coming up in the forecast here rather shortly. But here's a look at the current temperatures right now. A little cooler to the Arrowhead region and around Lake Superior. You would expect that this time of year to certainly see numbers in the 60s and 70s, a little closer to the lake. Elsewhere, we are finding numbers racing through the 80s. In fact, Moorhead already at 90 degrees, 85 Alex. Wilmer at 88, 84, just updating there in the Twin Cities. And I would not be surprised if we get up to about 89. 90's not out of the realm of possibility for today. We haven't had much cloud cover overhead like we did yesterday. And yesterday we managed to get to about 88. So it is certainly in the cards that we could hit that 90-degree mark for the first time this year. Haven't done it since early October of last year. Dew points? It's cooler, to say the least, when you have 40s and 50s, so it is far more comfortable in northern Minnesota right now. Dew points climbing into the 60s, and this is why when you step outside, you start to feel the sweat building, and you're like, okay, I'm getting a little stuffy out here. I know it's not the upper 60s, it's not the 70s, it's not that dog days of summer feel just yet, but for May, it is feeling a little steamy outside right now. We are expecting to see these cooler dew points move in from the northwest to the northeast to the southwest. So that's where we expect to start to feel things get a little more comfortable out here. But as you look to the west, there is some moisture out there. The dew points in the mid 60s, that's the fuel for the showers and thunderstorms. We do have a boundary kind of bisecting the region right now. Again, the cooler, drier air to the north, the warm, stuffier air to the southwest. We have a little bit of old activity out here that is likely to set things off for us a little bit later on. So as you go into the early afternoon hours, west central Minnesota, eastern South Dakota, that is where things start to fire up. Certainly would not rule out just that pop-up shower, pop-up a little rumble of thunder, a little bit of an isolated downpour around the Twin Cities into the mid-afternoon hours. But this is going to be the focal point for most of it. Eastern South Dakota, west central Minnesota, but overall, again, this is not a big rain event. It is going to be isolated, but nonetheless, there are going to be some communities, especially in western Minnesota, that pick up some pretty good downpours today. This is not going to alleviate any dry conditions out there. This is not going to alleviate any sort of drought condition. But some of us are going to get some much needed rainfall around here. Also to the north of us, high pressure is going to settle in, and that is going to bring the winds around to the east and northeast like they are today. So we're going to get a cooling effect from Lake Superior. But over the next several days, we're going to get a cooling effect as those east winds move across the Great Lakes, and that's also going to reinforce the more comfortable feel to our weather around here. We're not going to feel that humidity spike again. We'll see a lot of 40s and low 50s for dew points. Take, for instance, though, for today again, we saw those mid 60s across the southern half of the region. Let's go through the overnight hours and into tomorrow. Look at those numbers drop. A lot of 40s, a good number of 50s, but you're not finding the 60s out there. So again, while it's not going to feel bone dry outside, dew points dropping even 10 degrees can make it feel like an entirely different season as you step outside. So it is looking like we will have some pretty nice, comfortable summer weather, not so much early mid-spring weather. It will be hot like summer. Also, high above us, we're going to have this omega blocking pattern. So it's shaped like the letter omega, and we're going to find ourselves under that high pressure ridge, which means any energy in the atmosphere is going to go up and around us. So we're going to have that quiet pattern. This looks like it'll stay in place through probably the middle of next week. So next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be looking for a change in that weather pattern. Might reintroduce the chance of some rain, but for probably the next 7 days easily, It's going to be very quiet. It's going to be very dry. Take a look at this. For the precipitation outlook, just a big bullseye of dry weather over the Great Lakes. Again, high pressure and control. You got to go all the way out to the leading side of the Rockies to really find any significant precipitation right now. And for the temperature outlook, we are not going to be going below average, although look at this. Across the south and to the southeast, they will find numbers trending below average. For us, we will stay a little bit above average, so we're going to see a lot of 80s, a few upper 70s mixed in, but we're not dipping down into the upper 60s, low 70s again. So we will hold on to summer-like temperatures. Maybe there's not the summer-like humidity around here, which I'm sure a lot of us will enjoy. Okay, if you're going to be up for the weekend around Duluth, again, closer to the lake, you'll have numbers like this. Get away from the lake, you're going to get into the 80s. Brainerd Lakes area, Alexandria, Hayward, all 80s. Lots of sunshine. But again, should feel a little more comfortable outside. There you go for Thursday. Temperatures take a little bit of a dip, but notice these are not plummeting temperatures. Overnight lows are going to drop off. We've had upper 60s for lows. We'll talk about upper 50s and low 60s. So again, that indicates your humidity is going to be lower. Looks like this upcoming weekend, absolutely fantastic.